No. Oh, yeah, the PVC.
Now I try to, just so we can get more accurate measurements, I want to try to keep as much slack. I'd like to keep it as taut. Yep. You know, in other words, so we don't have a lot of loose slack.
Yep. Okay. Oh, I still got loose down.
I see some, yeah.
How well does that show up?
Very well.
Really?
Now you're right there at the beginning, right? Yep, you don't have any slack?
No, it's
okay.
laying right in the ditch.
Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is reset my counter to 0. So what it's counting is not how much camera is going up the pipe. It's counting how much rod is coming out of the unit here. The counter's up in here. So,
okay.
You know.
As long as we leave it rubbed there and I know where it is back here, I keep that distance.
Yeah, exactly.
Your distance should be good.
Yeah, and then I'll just feed you, or you can pull it as you need it, or whatever.
Okay.
So we're zeroed out right now.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Yeah, keep going. Still got dye. We're 6 feet. This looks like a joint right here, maybe. It's hard to say. Pull back just a little bit. A little more. Pull back. It's hard to say if that's a joint or not. It looks kind of like it.
How far is that?
Let me take up the slack that you've got. Tell me when you're about where you were. Or,
sure.
Okay. So we're about 8 feet.
That about makes sense. Because I took about 2 feet out and you figure a 10-foot length.
Right.
Okay, that would make about sense.
Okay, so you had a joint here when you started. You started at a valve.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I straight piece here.
Okay.
But from the PVC over, I took out about 2 feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that makes sense for a 10-foot joint. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Joint though, it's not a wire or anything.
Right.
Okay. That's a big word to say.
This ain't looking good because we're over 11 feet now and I've still got dye. Stop. Here's where we're at. Pull back just a little bit.
I want to see that. It's the bar where it is. That's our measure. Now, for tightness.
We're 13, about 14 feet. You know, something's going on right here, and this is where there's some toilet paper with some dye on it. So our dye's coming from over here. This looks like gravel and stuff.
It does. And that would make sense from what she tells me. That's the beginning of the dye?
Yes.
Jesse, go a little farther, make sure we run out of dye.
Because I can see, you see the dye here, and now we get back here, and
okay,
it's
the
gone.
end of the dye. Oh, wait, what's laying in the bottom right there?
Well, I don't know. Keep going, Jess. Whoa. Now, something's going on right here.
That's a crack.
That looks like no bottom.
Yeah, that's a crack.
Now, this has got to come from the basement commode, I would think.
All right, keep going once, Jess. Now, I have a feeling you'll get a dead end here in a minute.
Okay, yeah, here's where we're going up to.
Yes, right there.
That's where we're going up to the commode. We're right under the basement.
Look at the bottom of that line. Look at the crack.
Yep.
The crack in the cast?
Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking...
That's his belt. That's the joint right there.
Right here. Stop, Jess. Come forward a little bit. Okay, right there. This looks like a 4-inch opening up here. That's probably where the upstairs toilet's going to drop in.
Okay.
I would guess.
All right, now that also has good possibilities of maybe the dye having going back on the pipe if it ain't pitched right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Where you were at 13 feet a few minutes ago.
That's where our problem is, I believe.
That's where our problem is, yeah. Because that's where the dye is the heaviest.
And this here looks to me like the bottom of the pipe ain't too good.
Yeah, it does. All right, that's 18 feet in.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at 13 feet. Boy, that 13 feet's almost right on the money because I'm 11 feet, 10 feet 6 to the wall.
Yeah.
That's about the center of the shower drain.
And I know I had that toilet off because I was curious to see if the shower attached under the toilet because I was going to try to work it from backwards.
Yep.
And it didn't. And the toilet line goes down and heads right straight out. So from that toilet, you go 5 feet from where the shower ties in.
Put me on the end of the cast. 11, 12, 13. Wall thickness flush.
So you're right under that damn shower.
Right under that shower. Where we saw that problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's a line that comes down from upstairs. Means all them lines tie together in the wall someplace there.
Yeah. I'm pulling, let me just do it real slow here so I can see that one area again. Right here.
Yeah, it's right there.
So I'm thinking this is your connection here.
Yep.
This looks like it just might be all rotted out or something.
Uh-huh. Rotted out, collapsed, and all three of them lines tie together someplace next to that shower. So what we need to do is find out which wall those lines are coming down in, and I might actually be able, if I could find which wall those lines come down in, I might be able to cut the drop line and snake it from there down to here and open it up. But I do agree with what we're looking at there. It looks like we're missing the bottom on one section of pipe.
You can see the kitchen stack in the garage.
Okay, I haven't been in the garage. We can see the kitchen stack in the garage?
Mm-hmm.
exactly what that looks like. It looks like a fitting right there that's plugged.
Mm-hmm.
And that would explain when they put the balloon in of them kicking something up out of there.
Like something's all rotted out under there.
Yep. Well, yeah, because when you back up even farther to the bottom of the commode line, everything is shot.
You know, probably what's happened is, you know, when you tee out that we want to take up, it's so full of crap that the cable just slides right over it and
Yeah.
goes on the line.
Yep.
But then on the other hand, it shouldn't be a T. It should be a Y.
Yeah, it should be a T.
Huh?
It should not be a T. I was telling somebody recently about some of them pictures you showed me here a while back, like P-traps, two of them laying on their sides and everything else. Oh, you ought to see some of his pictures. And they just want to make you die laughing. They're hilarious.
And
They're actually sad is what they are. I shouldn't call them funny. They're sad.
I worked at a house the other day, bathtub and the bathroom sink. You run the sink and it'll fill up. But if you plunge it, it'll come up in the tub.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so they're connected. So
Yep.
you got a tub here, the sink beside it, and then a commode. Well, on the floor between the two, I could see some looks like cast iron with a fernco on it. Or in fernco. And then above that, the other end of the fernco had a male adapter clean out.
Yep.
The screw cap.
Mm-hmm.
It was a drum set.
Yeah.
At the top of the cast iron, the drum set was sticking up there far out of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
As I started loosening it, I started getting water, but I got a whole tub full. You know, so
Yep.
I
So don't we ain't playing that game.
So I ended up pulling the toilet, and I could see it coming into the side of the 4-inch under the toilet, and then damn pipe, and there's no water coming out. So I got my sink and went back up that, and I only went in that far and got a big ball of hair, and it let loose. And once everything drained out, I could open that drum trap. There's a P-trap under the bathroom sink,
Mm-hmm.
but then it goes through that drum trap.
Yep. So it's double trap.
Double trap.
Yep.
And I'm fairly sure when I cleaned the bathtub that I felt the drum trap somewhere under that. So that's double trap.
Yep. And then people wonder why things don't flow.
And then when the exit of this drum trap, I could, like I said, it was just sitting down on the floor, so about half the out one side of the top of the pipe was visible. And it comes out in double 90s. 90 down, and then the 90 over the smoke.
It's unbelievable what people have done over the years to make things work. If they don't work right, all they do is slow things down. A couple of years ago, I forget where it was, froze the line, and I found a house trap in a yard. It was only 1.5 feet down, and had an old crown vent coming up. Well, what happened is that crown vent let the air go down, and it froze it right there. We just simply cut the trap out, connected the line back together. The guy looked at me and said, well, if there's P-traps everything under the house, why do you need that? I said, you didn't. Years ago when houses were built, you didn't have P-traps under everything.
Right.
I went through his house to make sure he had traps under everything. The only thing I couldn't tell was the one shower. I said, so the only thing I can tell you, if I eliminate that, and you start getting an odor of sewer gas, you don't have a trap under that. I said, why, how is it? I ran some water. I looked at him, it's maintained water. It's about a foot down, but it's maintained water. I said, okay, I have a trap under there. So, what do you do? In more ways than one, it ain't good.
From here, we have a joint 8 feet in, which would be about right, because we took out 2 feet of gas. Then we go 5 feet further, and we have, this is where the dye is, it's coming out from this mess.
Okay.
And this to me, I don't know, looks like pieces of gravel and stuff.
And that is inside. That is inside. That is right
dead under the shower.
Because if we go another 5 feet, we're into the elbow of the commode, and we can visually see where the second floor line comes down and ties in. Okay?
And this pipe, this cast from the commode back doesn't really look in great shape.
Okay.
You want to
Yeah. Yep.
push that in some more? And I don't know what this mess is here.
Okay, you ready?
Yep. Okay, right here, you can see a cut-in on the top. That's where the upstairs bathroom ties in.
No, you're talking
The second floor toilet.
second floor commode. The toilet floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Not the master.
Well, yeah, I don't know. In the garage we can see a 3-inch clean out on the end of some copper, so that there's a bathroom right over this one, and that's
the master.
That's where this comes in.
Okay.
And then this bottom here don't look real good. You can go in more, Steve.
Now let's stop there a second. So the funny thing is, which I guess makes sense, is the bathtub in that master bath backs up in the shower, but it's over on the same wall, so it's the 2-inch line that probably comes down another wall and ties in the toilet.
That might tie in with the kitchen line.
Yeah. But that's funny because the sink is here. The sink is over by the toilet. So, okay.
Well, if we go in, go back in now, Steve. This cast looks pretty rough. I don't know, but this is our elbow going up to the bottom of the commode. Now, let's just pull back real slow here. Okay, stop right there. Now, there is definitely something going on right there. I'm not sure what that is.
You want me to run that testing? Yeah. Go in. You know what the bathroom is?
Go on down here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. The sink next to the commode.
Yeah.
Go run that one. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to see what all is coming where. Let's see where that comes out at. You far enough back for that?
Yeah, we're seeing something.
That's what I'm wondering.
But again, it's on the left-hand side. The sink is over here on the right, to the right of the commode. And this little drain, we see something small here coming in on the left. But that don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't, because we just plumb it in. I finally got some green dye down here, Jason, a little while ago, which made me very happy to see, because at least like it told me it was tied together correctly in the house.
And we know it's under the shower. I mean, a lot of the guesswork is done now. I mean, pretty much we need to destroy the bathroom and repipe it.
Realistically, yes.
Which I already forewarned her of. And I thought that's where we were going to go.
Okay, well, that sink comes in from under the toilet.
And that's weird. Which one is he running? The basement?
He's running the sink, yeah, there's 2 bathroom sinks. He's running the one that's immediately beside the toilet. And then there's the other one that's out kind of in that bedroom
Yeah, I guess I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one in there. That's one he's running.
All right.
All right, where did that come out at?
This is dropping down vertical from the under the toilet.
Okay. Okay.
So if you were to pull that toilet, you'd probably see an 1.5 inch pipe coming right into the side of the vertical, right below the flange.
And shut it off.
All right, yeah, please, because I'm not hooked up out here.
Let it run.
Yes, thank you.
So that pretty much tells our story of the issues and what we got to do.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Right there is where your problem is.
So can you give us a depth, Ian?
Well, you know we're on floor, basement floor level.
Yeah, I guess
right?
it just goes straight in, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
basement floor levels right here.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's not going to be fun in there.
No. So, where you're standing, we're about even to about here.
Up a little. Up a little.
23 inches.
Up late. So we got two fun jobs to do after. The other one. It's indoors, okay?
Mr. Oaks, you don't know the meaning of the word fun.
Okay, now as we're pulling out here, there's a joint right there.
So did you say the cast outside the foundation wall looks good? Or should we replace it?
It seems to. I'm not seeing any issues.
No, where we see an issue is what's under the floor in there. It looks like the bottom of one piece is gone.
Okay.
And it's right about where the...
Now, I don't know if this is a joint here or not. That's just 3 feet in. Does that kind of look like a joint?
Well, if it is, I can expose it here in a minute, and if it is, I'll make it go away where I hook my clean out in.
Well, it doesn't really look bad, Steve.
Okay.
This looks like it could be a joint.
Yeah. Well, if it is a joint and I'm going to get that close to it, I'll make it go away because I don't want to hook to it.
Okay.
You're out.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thank you for coming so quick.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
So you know what you're doing out here now, Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to do a double clean out. Okay. I can glue a coupling right here and I'll have a mission back here. So I'll go back, I'll hand dig back in here a little farther and see if I do have a joint.